Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into our first story now. And Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has announced key revenue measures expected to shore up Ghana's struggling economy. Presenting the 2023 budget to Parliament, the embattled minister touted the budget as one which would put the country on the path of economic growth, despite the minority insisting this budget would only compound the woes of Ghanaians. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has this report from Parliament.
The days leading up to this presentation were tense. This was on the back of 98 NPP MPs threatening to boycott the presentation if it was made by embattled Ken Ofori-Atta. With that out of the way and the censure motion hanging, Ken Ofori-Atta delivered what many have described as the most consequential budget in the nation's recent history. He announced an increase in the VAT rate and a review of the controversial e-levy.
One, increased VAT rate by 2.5%. to directly support our roads and digitalization agenda. Fast-track the implementation of the Unified Property Rate Platform Program in 2023 and review the e-Levy Act and more specifically, reduce the headline rate from 1.5% to 1% of the transaction value as well as the removal of the daily threshold.
Feeding grants for the school feeding program is also set to go up.
In 2023, the feeding grant will be increased to reflect the current cost of living.
The big elephant in the room has been debt restructuring. The minister provided an update.
We will implement a debt exchange program to address the challenges identified in the portfolio in collaboration with all relevant stakeholders, including the Ghanaian public, investor community, bilateral countries, and development partners, and foreign bond investors.
Ken Ofori-Atta also announced further spending cuts, including a freeze in public sector employment.
All MDAs, MMDAs, and SOEs are directed to reduce fuel allocations to political appointees and heads of MDAs, MMDAs, and SOEs by 50%. A ban, Mr. Speaker, on the use of V8s or V6s or its equivalent except for cross-country travel. Reduction of expenditure on appointments, including salary freezes, together with suspension of certain allowances like housing, utilities, and clothing. A hiring freeze for civil and public servants. No new government agency shall be established in 2023. Government cares deeply about our people and is very concerned about the current plight and the future of our country.
The minority were not enthused about the presentation.
So, Mr. Speaker, this budget is a campaign budget. I can't pay the day. Because he has announced debt restructuring in the name of a debt exchange program.
Ranking member on the Finance Committee, Dr. Kisela Tuforsin, claimed this budget will worsen the plight of Ghanaians.
The dose they gave to us today, if care is not taken, will result in our economy dying. But let me tell you, this budget is going to be a severe budget that is going to introduce extreme austerity in the year 2023. I can only urge the people of Ghana that brace up for maximum hardship, worse than what we've gone through in 1979 and 1983. That is going to happen because the budget as read today is nothing but an intensive and severe, and I repeat the word severe, hardship that they have introduced.
The 2023 budget was uncharacteristic in many ways. It did not come with the usual cheers and GS that MPs will be doing on the floor of Parliament. Indeed, when the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, finished speaking, the usual way of the majority MPs standing up to cheer him and praise him did not come. This may be due to the fact that 98 NPP MPs did not want the minister to present the budget until a late meeting with the Council of Elders changed that decision. But the minority have now signaled their intention to frustrate the passage of some of the key revenue measures that Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced. It is left to be seen now that the various strands of the budget have now been referred to the committees of Parliament, the Finance Committee and other such standing and select committees. In the coming days, MPs will be debating the policies that the minister has outlined in the 2023 budget. For Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, the Association of Electrical Dealers at Opera Square in the Central Business District of Accra has also been reacting to the content of the 2023 budget. The leadership is concerned about the increase in VAT, insisting it will make life unbearable for already ailing businesses. Here's the chairman and the financial secretary's interaction with my colleague, Emefa Apau.
Oh, I never hear everything yet, but I've been told about e-levy and VAT. So the VAT is going to about 2.5%. So it's going to about 6.5%. It's too high because of the dollar rate. The business are almost already collapsed. So if the VAT 2 is going up, and then definitely it won't help us. And the e-levy is good, that it's come down small. So when it comes down to 1%, that's okay for us. But the VAT is too much for, you must prepare for 4% is okay, but 2.5% is not good for us because the business is not going well. Because if we want everybody to pay the VAT, we must do it very moderate for us, to everybody can pay. That's the only thing I can say at the moment now.
But were you expecting this 2.5%, you would say?
No. I'm thinking that maybe you want to reduce it for us, but rather to go up about 2.5%. It's very.
This current condition, were you actually expecting a reduction?
But never mind, because we want everybody to pay something. It's better to make it very moderate to everybody to participate than increase it to people to run away. The more you increase high, people run away on it. Because we see the e-levy. When you go up 1.5%, people are not paying. But 1%, people are going to pay.
I was expecting the government to bring policy that will help the local trade. We know we have investment laws in Ghana. Now the foreign have taken over the local markets. We've had several agreements with the government. You lock their shop. So many things have happened. The dollar is going up. And most of these foreigners are those who import more than the Ghanaians. So the dollar that is going up is basically because of the foreigners who are importing more and sending the money back to their countries. You made mention of the DBG helping local industries to produce more. What about traders? I didn't hear anything about traders. All he said was the DBG going to help the local industries to start production. Those who are already going to do the expansion. What about traders? We punish so much to the economy. Look at the money we pay at the port, duties and other taxes. I didn't hear much about helping the traders to also expand. And then also made mention of the VAT. Now we are paying flat of about 4%. It brings 2.5 in addition to that. Already we are complaining about the VAT. We are adding extra to the percentage. How are you going to do that? One, you're going to make the things very expensive. Dollar is high. Cost of borrowing is also high. Combine all these things. How are you going to hope to sell to our customers?
Well, some residents in Kumasi have expressed mixed reactions about the 2023 budget statement presented by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. While a number of the citizenry in the region are confident of a positive overturn of the country's economic fortunes, others are dissatisfied with the value-added tax going up by 2.5%. Love FM's Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has been interacting with some of them.
Bibia kakra bibia say 1.5 for the about 1.0 na kakra say no more konanim so a no be how see dey.
Let's take things gradually. They started with 1.5% and now it's being decreased. Then it's good. Fuel is an essential commodity running the economy, so if it's high, prices of goods will go up.
Say crying any that say no more from kakra, but I say no more say cost you.
The statement won't help. We are hoping things will be subsidized. Every item on the market now is expensive. If the VAT is introduced, it won't help.
Now, student, baby cry the G20, baby the G18. We have no more we pay FMA. That's a stay, $7 to no mama can want. $80 in baby, I could be on way. Then come from near Hunsun Toy. This idea, maybe I can't on the only crowd confusion baby moon.
Target for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now this you are doing no see pa or buy region piano you see shelves are yes store in Miane
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah established a lot of preservation factories for the country. So if the government wants to build more factories to produce locally, then we will be able to harvest more and feed ourselves.
Feed yourself, grandpa, a champion de buy and yat watching. That's not for far. I got to say, oh, you never me a boy and economy, and you give it me a jatum.
If the government would only institute these measures, then we would agree to the budget statement.
Me a boy, dear, a year free. Sabi, I won't check a crea, you will move a crea, and you have me a danas.
Ye name me say, remember for me now at pain.
We hope everything gets back to normal.
A worldwide crash and abba, but will be a dear when it will be also on it.
I don't know, Papa, when the Casa Vati kumi prekono. Sapa Poe and the Casa Vati kumi preko. Divata some credits as worker, and that's what the background.
What always comes to mind when the name of Paga is mentioned is its crocodile pond. However, Kulmasa, located in the Saulatuna Kalba district of the Savannah region, also has an abundance, a maze of crocodiles. The crocodiles are also a representation of their totems, and eating them is forbidden. When they are seen in their homes, it is a signal that one of the elders of their community will pass on in the coming days. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam traveled to the pond and now reports crocodiles, though not tamed, are harmless.
The Kolma Crocodile Pond has been in existence for centuries, according to tour guide Justice Nudawana.
The origin of these crocodiles can be traced at the time there was a war between Babatu and Samori. You know, Babatu and Samori were slave raiders. So our great-grandfather was chased by warriors. He arrived at the deeper stream that he needed to cross. An object appeared from the water like a piece of wood. He sat on it and they took him across the water. When the enemies got to the stream and they were trying to cross, they rather drawn inside the stream. It is then that he turned and realized that what he was sitting on was actually not a piece of wood, but a crocodile. So he said none of his descendants would take the meat of a crocodile.
Since then, it is a taboo for members of the community to take the meat of a crocodile. The crocodiles are regarded as their totems and are therefore harmless.
Unknowingly, if you hear the aroma of that of a crocodile, you develop boils on your body. We have a pond in the community where they fetch the water and they mix with some concoctions to rub the body, and then the boils will go away. And then again, in case an indigenous elder is going to pass away in the community or outside the community, one of these animals will move from the pond to any household in the community. So when elders see it this way, they know that something is going to happen in the community. And then normally, it's not necessarily where the person is going to pass away that it will go to. By 3 to 4 days' time, it will come back to the pond. And while in the community, it doesn't harm anybody. It can be in your kitchen, it can be in your compound for the 3 days or 4 days before coming back to the pond again.
Despite the eloquent display of knowledge on the crocodiles by the tour guide, we still had doubts about their existence, and we decided to visit the pond to see for ourselves. Members of the Kolomanga Tourism Committee initially were reluctant and had doubts about the appearance of the crocodiles outside the pond because of the timing. It was on a Friday. The sun was at a zenith and scorchy. There was complete silence around the pond area except the chirping of birds. The tour guide, Justice Nudawana, appears with a chicken on hand and started calling on the crocodiles. Few minutes later, Lady's Luck smiled on us and we saw some sort of turbulence on the rather calm pond.
Navalwana! Navalwana!
The biggest and the oldest, for that matter, in top speed, swam out of the pond and ordered to lie on the bare stony rough sand.
See that's coming. Can you tell to stop?
Naval.
You can see that it has stopped. Based on that instruction, that telling the crocodile to stop, and it lie down.
The over 80-year-old grandfather crocodile was accompanied by other 70 smaller crocodiles, but they stayed at the periphery, watching how things will pan out. In fact, they served as guards.
I've seen you when we got here. You were saying, Nabalawana, Nabalawana. What is that?
That is my grandfather come. My grandfather come in the local language. When you say Nabale, that is my grandpa. Wana means come. And it's a long union between the community and then the animals. Over here, we believe that the crocodiles are our totems.
Can I come here alone?
If you come here alone and then call,
if I say Nabalawana, will it come?
It will not come.
Because I'm not a member of the community?
Yes, even the tour guide.
Okay.
Even those who are members of the community, if you come here on ordinary day, say Nabalawana, it listens to the voice. So if not one of the tour guides, it will never come, or the manager.
Okay. The tour guide holding the chicken was being granted the interview. The hungry grandfather crocodile began to run out of patience and few times made some gestures, but the tour guide wouldn't budge. When the chicken was finally thrown at it, the rather calm crocodile became aggressively ferocious and missed it. It was directed to go back to pick it. There are over 100 crocodiles, we are told, in this pond per statistics from the last census conducted.
In the year 2012, we had experts from Germany and the USA. They came down with their machines to assist us to do the census. After the census, we had 97 animals in the pond. And outside the pond,
animals here, we are talking about crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
Okay.
We counted 97 crocodiles, and then outside the pond, we counted 7.
The tour guide appeals to the government through the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Arts and Culture to help fence the pond and also provide recreational facilities to boost up tourism in the area.
You see that the animals are not tame because the place is not fenced. If only we get a support to fence the pond, we can train them for people to sit on them and even touch them. And then again, when tourists come to the pond, where to sit sometimes is a problem. So if only we can get summer huts around the pond, it will help boost the tourism activities in the community.
A view equally shared by the president of the Kulumaha Youth Association.
We want to appeal to organizations, particularly those into natural conservation, to come and dredge this pond. As you can see, those days, all of this place used to be water, but you can see that now it has been silted. And so we are appealing to organizations to come to our aid to try to dredge this pond for us. Thank you.
So we have crocodiles here at Kumasi, and so the next time you are passing by on the Kumasi Road, at least just take a peep at Kumasi and come to this pond. You see these crocodiles here. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Kulmaha.
And it's on that note that we cap off the news this morning. Up next, the news review will be joined by Ben Efson of the Daily Dispatch. Do stay.